Live on Stream It Sports and PS Channel 10, it's Poudre School District High School Basketball. This broadcast is brought to you by Schrader Oil, your local fuel company. By University of Colorado Health, we improve lives from healthcare to health. By Pedersen Toyota, everything cars made easy. And by First Bank. Visit any of our convenient locations in northern Colorado. And now for the play-by-play, here's David Haase and Randy McCoy.
Welcome to Poudre School District Athletics. Tonight from beautiful Fort Collins, Colorado, our second game of doubleheader boys varsity basketball. The Fort Collins Lambkins host the Poudre Impalas. I'm David Haase along with Randy McCoy on the call tonight and production. Cameraman will be Sean Corbetts. Randy, we've got a team in Collins that has had a strong year after being the defending champions from the for the Front Range League last year, but graduating all 5 starters. 5 junior starters have come into their own.
Yeah, they're coming in at 14-8. They're 7-4 in the conference. Lost a big game last week to Fossil Ridge to kind of put them out of the top three in the conference. As we know, Fossil Ridge, you got to score Fossil Ridge. It's not good news.
Now, after one quarter down in Boulder, the Sabercats trail 23-9 to the Panthers, but as you know, that they can heat it up pretty quickly.
Yes, they can. Our colleague Marty Cesario down there giving us a little score update too. So 14-8. Poudre has had a rough year, and they've got some players. They have some pieces. Not everybody's played all year. People have set out different times. So really, this is just a matter about just repping tonight. This is just representing your school, representing yourself, and just coming out here and playing hard. Well,
if you know anything about the Poudre Impalas, the way they play football, basketball, and everything else they do over there, they will compete tonight, that's for sure.
So anyway, we will come back with the tip-off, the national anthem, and other festivities tonight, live from Fort Collins, Colorado, Fort Collins High School. We've got Lambkins and Impalas. We got the band in the background, so we will be back after these messages. You're watching Stream It Sports.
Thanks to First Bank and Apple Pay, I can easily buy stuff using my phone. Thanks to my driverless car, I can't figure out how to change this song.
Apple Pay, now at First Bank.
Wherever it is you want to go, all you need to see is the next 200 feet. That's how life unfolds. A leap of faith. Even if you can't see it, your destination is out there. So just keep going, and you'll get there. 200 feet at a time. The Corolla. Toyota. Let's go places.
I am UC Health.
I am UC Health.
I'm Matt, and I am UC Health. I've got 2 boys and I've got a girl, and I think they see me as someone who, fixes broken hearts mainly and gets people back out there. My daughter, who's 9 months, she'll understand someday that I try to help people, and I think they take pride in that.
Our roots run deep at the University of Colorado Health. Share your roots at imuchealth.org.
Wayne, everyone knows by now that Schrader's Country Stores have the best car washes around. They don't need to see you standing in the car wash explaining the undercarriage wash, the rocker panel spray, the protective finish application, and the jet dryer. No, Wayne, all you have to do is see the beautiful shine on my nice clean car. No muss, no fuss, and I'm certainly not all wet.
You won't get soaked at Schrader Country Store car washes, just shiny clean.
So we're back here getting ready for the tip-off. You hear the Fort Collins pep band in the background.
Fight song going on, getting a lot of student fill-in front of us. And it's always hard to tell how this gym is just so big. That's a big student turnout at every gym, but it just doesn't quite fill it here.
Yeah, this is the largest gymnasium, high school gymnasium in town, second only to Moby, and
credit the
holds about
Impalas
3,000 people.
Yeah, Impala's got a couple hundred kids over there. They're still filing in too. A lot of parents across the way. Good night for a game.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the second half of tonight's basketball
some great stories here tonight. You can finish up even if you're the Impalas, Randy, how Mitchell Yoakum's had a good solid year for them, scoring at a good clip and becoming an overall player. Coach Shealy talked about developing his team, and the success of both his C teams and his JV teams this year had an excellent year. So there's certainly something to build on in the Impala program. Done by the pep band for the Lambkins. Next comes our starting lineups. First out for the Impalas, senior Mitchell Yoakum, number 2, their leading scorer. Number 2 for the Lambkins, Ricky Orozco. Number 3 for the Impalas, Carlos Condi. Number 5 for the Lambkins, Siri Palacio. Palacio's had an excellent season, kind of running that team for all the numbers, the steals, the assists, everything.
Kind of a coming out for him this year.
It really was. Kyle West, number 5 for the Impalas. Damian Murillo out for the Lambkins, number 12. All juniors to start for the Lambkins. 15, sophomore Troy McFadden out for the Impalas. Excellent football player too for the Impalas in the fall. Lambkins, number 15, Brian Reed. Anthony Raffaelli, number 20.
Raffaelli, we have to make sure we get that right tonight.
He's finished up that starting lineup in the last one. Pfaffinger, number 33, had an excellent year. Also 2 now for the Lambkins. So we've got our starters.
Officials taking off their jackets.
Must be time to play.
Like I said, usually these crosstown games, you can throw the records out the window. Poudre has played most teams pretty close. Most of the city teams pretty close. And so I would expect this to be that way too.
And I'm sure we'll lack no effort on their part tonight. It's like you said, you can play this game in a phone booth. It's going to be contested. Collins wants to finish up that year. If you get themselves over that 15-win mark, chance for a little higher seed.
I would even call it could be a little chippy even, just knowing how Fort Collins plays, knowing how Poudre plays. Both are going to play really hard and leave it all on the court.
Yeah, you got one of the deans of coaching out there with Coach Alcaraz, too.
Yes, you do. Here we go.
West and Murillo jumping center. I'm not sure why Murillo was jumping instead of Brian Reed, but a little change up there at the circle. Man defense right out of the gate for the Lambkins.
And this team that Coach Shelley has put out there should be able to compete tonight. He was short last time we saw him. He was short a couple players.
Yep.
But he's fully staffed tonight, so
McFadden on the drive, going to be fouled. Push from behind. Fouls on number 2, Orozco. Oh, good entry pass from Yoakum to West. Doesn't get it to fall, though.
Well, it was a good roll by West. Doesn't go up strong enough to put it in.
Lambkins first time with the ball. We talked about Palacio, number 5, the junior. Tied a school record this year for the assists, 12 in a game. That's just a big number, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the equivalent of shooting, you know, probably about a 40-point game in scoring.
Well, and that's nice three. Boy, talk about a...
That's the country club bounce right there, the old member bounce.
Yeah.
Marino knocks it down. And Marino's having an excellent year from the three-point line, too.
He's had some big games.
West penetrate, goes in, contact from Reed. And I think that's your Poudre. There's your chance. Go in, try to get the foul count up on these regulars, because right now you really can't say the Lambkins are a deep team because they had 5 new players to get in, so they didn't have a ton of time for the reserves this year.
They maybe go about 7. They go with a guard, Ogunmiller, that will come in.
West at the line. First one fits it in, 3-1 with 6:53 left.
And Elder, the senior, will get plenty of playing time. Talk about the 12 assists. That's in the NBA. That's equivalent of about 20 assists because kids don't hit shots like pros.
Yeah. Well, and also the Lambkins play a very deliberate style. You know, that they're not a run and gun team where you get a chance to finish a lot like that. So Impalas back in the zone. It's a 2-for-2 trip that time for the line by West.
Palacio, a 12-6 guy.
Reed a little out of position that time. A little strong on the hook. Yoakum from behind gets the ball tipped away, picked up by Raffelli though. I think he must have stepped out of bounds. We'll have to take the official's word for it with that angle, as you saw on the camera. That's the dark side of the moon here for us. Students are not going to sit down, and we're not going to ask them.
Yeah.
Palacio just content to take the ball away. They're just going to try to set up the offenses they want. Lambkins, you know, Coach Alcaraz, you could almost say very similar to Coach Glessman with the Poudre girls. Very deliberate. Don't need to be in a hurry. We will work and work till you make a mistake one step too slow, and we'll take advantage of it.
Well, and I think what we saw, some of their youth against Fossil Ridge, they didn't stick to that.
Yeah. Well,
they tried to start running a little bit, and
they got in foul trouble, and it got them, didn't it?
You're not going to run typically with Fossil Ridge. That's kind of what they do, and that's going to be offensive foul. Reed's had a tough couple of weeks here. He's started off really strong, but and that happens. I mean, these are teenagers.
Yeah.
Very few guys play great all year.
It's tough to play at a high level like that, and then the competition always comes up to greet you. But that's 2 fouls on him really quick, so I do not think he's going to have a pretty big cool down on the bench just to make sure.
Well, at least this quarter.
Palacio with the steal. And Raffelli, actually, it's a pretty good foul there. He's going to be called for one, saves an easy 2. But he had the ball, and the other guard for the Lambkins had him pinned, and Palacio just come from behind with quick hands, knocked it away. So Elder in the game now, number 11, as Reed takes the bench, as we said, with those 2 fouls. Ball was tipped coming in bounds. I think either the drummer reached out and gave it a poke. Pfaffinger back out. Orozco in the corner for the 3, short.
Both teams kind of ugly in the game up here to start, aren't they?
Yeah, it's you know, you say it's a tough game to play. You know, certainly Poudre didn't have the year any athlete would want. That doesn't stop them from competing. We know that. Expect that.
And easy call on the
that was
block.
You know, Murillo got in front of him, but Raffelli finished it, didn't he?
No, he didn't let up, did he? He said, "I got you moving, so you're gonna pay for that one."
He put the shoulder right between the 1 and the 2 on Murillo, and he got the call. 14 fouls early on the Lambkins. Kind of what they did against Fossil. Poudre hoping they can repeat that, but Palacio on the run goes through, up in the air.
Oh, gonna call it a jump ball, or is that a foul?
No, he whistled up. Foul on West. I think he did, just pinned his wrist. A lot of ball, but kind of grabbed the wrist on the follow through. 4:53 left here in the first. You're watching Streaming Sports. Palacio well over an 80% free throw shooter for the year. Talk a little bit about our banner sponsor, Randy.
Rocky Mountain Fever Club Basketball, a premier club team in the northern Colorado area. Feverhoops.com. Check them out. They've got tryouts coming up, as most teams do.
Boys and girls basketball, you want to play at the big school level, you're going to have to make it your bones in the offseason. You got to get your game, elevate your game as best you can. Rafelli that time went down and forced it, dragged a step. Substitution in now for the Impalas, number 4, Connor Smoyer, junior.
Got an update from Boulder, 33-18. Boulder ahead of Fossil Ridge. Fossil Ridge obviously did not come out ready to play.
After being down 23-9, that's not too bad. They're playing them square, so if they have a chance to make a run.
It's hard on the road.
Yeah, Troy McFadden there, just a great job. The lesson underneath there, he kept 2 hands on the ball, didn't he?
Yes, he did, and we know Troy, coached him 2-3 years. He's a tough competitor. Nicest kid in the world, too.
First one's up and good. Ryan Oligmiller in now for the Lambkins for Murillo. That was the second one on Murillo, so 2 starters for the Lambkins early in the game here with a pair of fouls. Nice touch by McFadden, finishes off a 2-for-2 trip. Play also left outside, passes up the 3, skip pass. Ball on the floor ends up in Yoakum's hands.
Yoakum hasn't even taken a shot yet.
Yeah, I know, that's surprising, and credit to the defense. Here his first opener bounces off. And during the shot, there's a whistle on the floor.
Eight fouls now so far in the first half.
Just half of a quarter played, and that's the second foul on Kyle West. Had a nice visit. You've had to seen it, but the coaches show we were able to do thanks to PSD TV, Channel 10, Matt Gohl, and his staff put together. We had great visits with Coach Algaraz and Coach Sheila here tonight. Five to 4. Palas are playing it just like they'd like to have it. Diaz baseline, who just checked in. Ball on the ground, though, is going to be tied up. The boys did a great job. Oligmiller and Palacio go down. Possession arrow favors the Lambkins, so just as good as a turnover. Paul is just moving that zone, really overcommitting. You look for that skip pass to come along. Tried the entry pass, just tipped away. Kind of a lazy pass, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's
throwing numbers height. You're not going to get many of those through any zone.
Nice pick and roll there.
Smoyer for the 3. Impalas lead now 7-5. Part of winning sometimes is believing you can, isn't it?
Well, and Pfaffinger really first
shot for him into the paint, and we've seen the way he's a slasher. Finished at that time, ties it up. Actually puts him back ahead 7-6, excuse me. But a timeout on the court's taken. So 2:38 left here in the first quarter. We'll take a break. You're watching Stream It Sports.
I am UC Health.
I am UC Health.
I'm Jill, and I am UC Health. Laughter clubs bring people together in ways that are unmatched. It helps you decrease stress. It helps you relax more. So at UC Health, they allow us to embrace the community, embrace our members, and do some really wonderful things.
Our roots run deep at the University of Colorado Health. Share your roots at imuchealth.org.
So we're back here. Poudre was having trouble getting the ball up court, so that's why they took the timeout.
Smoyer just hit that three a moment ago. Penetration stopped, though.
He's a good-looking player.
McFadden, three-pointer off. Rebound, Pfaffinger. Three-point coming up from Pfaffinger, short. And just to talk about, you know, things that are going on in these high schools. State wrestling tournament started today, Randy, and Poudre dominated the city total as far as wrestlers. They sent 8, with one Greenwood, one of the defending champions. Oh, good cross-court pass, spotting Diaz there, but the jumper short. Good rebound by Palacio. And Palacio going up, showing the body control, and the kiss off the glass with the finger roll. Chance for the end one. Nobody stopped the ball, did they?
No, they did not. And
he took advantage of it.
Used his body to keep the defender off of him.
Yeah, you don't have to go on top of everybody to get your shot off when you have position like that. 2+1 is 3 for Palacio. Puts the Lambkins up 10-6 with 1:46 left.
That's only if you got David Haas hops. So
yeah, that's it. You're standing near the ground. Smoyer trapped. Good defense both by Elder and Oligmuller. They come up with the ball.
Nice
from
passing.
The baseline. A little rushed. I think that he had to shoot over the top of Yoakum. Smoyer, toes on the line, no three-pointer if it goes. Rebound in the ground. Lambkins have numbers here, 4-on-2. And that's going to be a tough one because Orozco didn't have to do that, did he?
No, and the Poudre player didn't go for the fake. Had a man wide open, probably for a layup right there, too.
Yeah. Raffelli back in the game now from McFadden.
It's a judgment call. You know, if they don't go for the foul, then or if they don't go for the fake, then you're kind of.
Yeah. Well, that's the third starter now, too, out with 2 fouls for the Lambkins. We'll report from down in the Boulder game. Panthers come out red hot with 7 3-pointers in the first half, and Braxton Bertolette is continuing to have those first half woes, shooting the ball, not having probably chances either. See if he can heat up again in the second half.
Well, he's no surprise to anybody, so.
Oh yeah, no, they're gonna find him. Trailing the play there that time. Palacio came and got a tip away, but had the other hand on the back. The official makes the call. She signals a 1-and-1 for Raffelli.
Thing about threes is you win by the 3 and you die by the 3, so that makes me feel better about Boulder hitting all those threes, because chances are they're not going to do that the entire game.
It's a rare team that can shoot that well for long. Well, and you also look at last night, CSU. Rams were way ahead of Utah State early on the 3 count, and then they couldn't throw it in the ocean second half. And you just say it usually goes away at one point or another. Second one is short. Elder to Palacio. Under a minute to play here in the first. 3 ball from the corner. Rebound, long rebound by Oligmuller, just a hustle rebound. Pfaffinger on the baseline has to kick it out.
Well, we got to coach Ryan, and he's a hustling kid. Nice move there.
Well, nice drive there by Sam Tiley, the sophomore. I tell you what, the baseline finish there, that's just the way you draw it up when you got that open space. Yoakum just has not any good looks, so they know exactly where he's at, don't they?
Yeah. Well, he's really the only one that's going to consistently hurt you, probably.
6 seconds left to play in the quarter. Yoakum, though, left alone, deep from 3, short. Ball's going to be out of bounds to the Impalas with 2.6 seconds left. Certainly time to catch it and make one move. Design inbound play just kind of goes off. Elder picks it up. The senior there smelled that one, didn't he? Stepped in front of Yoakum, who's trying to get the inbounds and return pass. So after 1 quarter play here at Fort Collins High School, the Lambkins lead the visiting Impalas 12-7. You're watching Streaming Sports.
Everyone knows by now that Schrader's Country Stores have the best car washes around. They don't need to see you standing in the car wash explaining the undercarriage wash, the rocker panel spray, the protective finish application, and the jet dryer. No, Wayne, all you have to do is see the beautiful shine on my nice clean car. No muss, no fuss, and I'm certainly not all wet.
You won't get soaked at Schrader Country Store car washes, just shiny clean.
We're back here, beginning of the second quarter.
And I'm telling you, adding the full drum set to the pep band, and now their presence with authority, don't they?
Tightens the band up.
Well, you know what? That's the way a high school gym ought to be.
Can you say reverberation?
Yes. 12-7, slow, very deliberate first quarter. Three starters for the Lambkins have 2 fouls.
And this is the kind of game that you could see end up 48-40.
Yeah, oh no, really. It's a deliberate style of play that Coach Algar has always implemented. Diaz, Raffelli, Conde, Smoyer, and Yoakum on the court now. Oh, Raffelli, a little reach under, doesn't get the fall. Rebound by Conde.
Raffelli's not been able to really get it going this year. He's had a decent year as a junior.
Yeah, oh, Diaz, nice power rebound, kicks it back out. Yoakum had to look at the three, didn't get it to fall. Elder, Faffinger, Oligmiller, Palacio, and Tiley on the court for the Lambkins.
Oligmiller getting a lot of good minutes here.
Yeah, building that depth. Orozco back in now for Oligmiller. And a quick inbounds pass. Conde just gets the ball. He's a good space eater inside, but that time he just elevated, got the ball out of his hands quickly off the glass. 12-9 now, and Paul's just trailed by 3. Roscoe in. That was just Faffinger started in and kicked it back out. Just a classic inside-out play.
Conde takes as many shots as Rocky Mountain passes the ball. Football, huh?
Yeah.
Not true anymore, but in the past. And there's
now Yoakum's just trying to find his stroke there, and he's hit those shots, but tonight so far it's a starting tough. Elder from the corner. Doesn't go. Raffelli with the rebound.
One thing I don't like what I see with Fort Collins, they're not really rebounding on the offensive end here.
No, you're right. There's nobody going to the glass.
Yeah. One shot and done. And
credit a little bit the effort of the Impalas, but also, you know, rebounding is all about how bad you want to.
Well, and yeah, you're not going to rebound 20 feet from the basket, so. Raffelli's a fairly good three-point shooter, but has not been able to.
Not the look so far. Well, you know, with
nice
baseline
shot.
Move like that,
and he needs to be aggressive like that senior.
It shows that the explosion there and going through that baseline, lays it up off the glass. 15-11 now. Lambkins lead. Still that matching zone by the Impalas. It's, you know, until you start seeing better outside shooting from the Lambkins, they're going to stay in it.
And they can shoot better, so we'll see. And there's
Palauso, a little strong rebound back by McFadden, who checked in.
Picked up his dribble.
Yeah.
Can't do that.
And there was an open lane in front of him. I think we'll see his game progresses next year. That goes right to the rack.
Yeah, he's got a layup.
Tiley out on Yoakum. No chance for taking advantage there.
Yeah, there's such a difference in go till they stop you and waiting to see if it's open, and a little track meet there, but it was.
Yeah. What a great pass ahead by Faffinger.
It was a great pass.
Palacio with the 2. 6-point lead now for Lambkins.
Might have got by with a little shuffle there.
Just a little slide there, but he was still securing the ball, so the official's generally going to give you that one since you're shooting. Yoakum baseline jumper still doesn't go. Still a tough night for him.
Well, you know, him and McFadden have to hit a few threes to stay in the game. I mean, that's their game.
But they are not far from it. Raffelli deep from the corner doesn't go. Palacio with the rebound. Roscoe picks up the easy cross-court pass. Lays it in. That's when you talk about a guard with keeping their head up. You always coach that.
Yeah, well, you don't want to dribble the length of the court if there's people already down the court. I mean, the key is making defense move. Nice pass by McFadden there to Smoyer.
Real long three-pointer, good. Apparently they were too close.
Yeah, they just need to back up a little bit.
I think he turned around, high-fived the drummer after that thing went in. Under 4 to play here in the half, 22-13. You're watching Stream It Sports and PSD TV.
And I like Raffelli.
Tip back.
Getting aggressive here.
Yeah, well, you got to go to the rack, but a good tip back. He said crashing the boards. Thanks again to our sponsors, UC Health, Pedersen Toyota, First Bank, and Schrader Oil.
And they're gonna have to get out on him, but he's only hit 1 so far.
Yeah. 2. Timeouts can be taken by the Impalas. They trail 15-22 to the Lambkins here at home.
Who wants more peas?
Go away.
Oh, Daddy hates pop-up ads.
Go away.
Hashtag dinner time.
Scroll forward.
Choose selfie. No. Selfie.
Go forward.
Delete selfie.
Go away. Bookmark.
No.
Go away.
No, post photo.
Scroll up. Scroll forward.
Hashtag gravy.
The First Bank mobile app. Technology has never been so easy.
That's my wife's
We're back here with
reminiscing.
David Haase, the actor, entertainer,
orator,
singer.
That's a fancy word for something else, isn't it?
Yeah.
Somebody would have to explain that to us. We'd really not have anybody have to tell me.
A few other names that will.
The generation gap between you and I and our cameraman, Mr. Corbett, is painfully obvious.
Yeah, well, he's a good sport. He makes us.
Yeah. Playing along.
Looks smarter than we are, which
that actually takes a little doing. That's a credit to him.
Kind of a full-time job.
So we're back here now. Time starting in this second quarter. 3:20 left in the half. Paul's timeout. Diaz back in the game. Smoyer, double team. Boy, if you get the ball, you pick up a dribble, Lambkins are on you.
Well, and then the Lambkins have said, you know what? Let's
pick up the effort a little.
Yeah. Nice move by McFadden.
Now, just the baseline explosion. That was just an athletic move. Took advantage of his jumping ability. Pass a little behind Fafner in the interior. Paul's coming back the other way. One bucket, they get it within a one-score game. And another foul on one of the Lambkins. This time on Tiley. The 8th foul on the Lambkins. You know, you got single bonus or at the line Sawyer, but you got a chance for these free throws. You can work your way back into this at halftime. You go in there and you're energized, aren't you?
Yeah, and I mean, it's a 5-point game, so.
First one, though, doesn't go. Hustle rebound. Kyle West goes in and just overpowers the ball. Wow. That's a tough call to get.
It is, because it should look like both people's hands were on it.
Yeah, and if you separate from it, then there was he should have a step for the pivot foot, but as once again we always know, there's only one opinion that matters. Oleg Miller, Palacio, Pfaffinger, Reed back in the game also now too in Murillo.
Oleg Miller in a year will take that shot. He's a good shooter.
Oh, nice drive, baseline. Doesn't go though. But Reed's just having a tough night around the basket.
Good way to cut him off, Ryan. Ryan did a great job there of getting to the baseline. That's what you teach him.
Three-pointer McFadden doesn't go. Rebounded by Murillo. Palacio, nobody picks him up. Goes in, gets hit as he's elevating. Not much of a call. I think he kind of got bailed out there. He extended himself and was a little further from the rim and just had a little enough contact to throw him off. Under 2 to play here in the half.
You know what? Yoakum hits a couple of threes and stuff, and this is a completely different game, isn't it?
Well, and as cold as he has been, characteristically cold, you know, we're looking at a game that you could say they could be leading by a bucket or two.
Right. And they've had some leads in the first half.
Palacio is continuing to show why he's just one of probably the better free throw shooters in the state. We've got 2 of the best in the city here. He and Braxton Bertolette. Another 2 for 2 puts the Lambkins up by 7. McFadden drives, goes underneath, just gets pummeled. If that's on Reed, that's his 3rd.
That's his game. That's Troy's game.
Oleg Miller's going to draw the foul.
He just gets in and drives you nuts. And
yeah, not so much the hoopster at, you know, the pure basketball moves as just an explosive athlete going by you, and as just a sophomore, you know, those moves the more refinement will come along with his game and make him even more dangerous, because we know that the athletic ability is certainly there. First one's up and good. And a 2 for 2 there by Troy McFadden. A couple baskets here for him in the second quarter. 5-point lead for the Lambkins with a minute 39, excuse me, left to play.
Got some sophomores making a difference this year in the city. Got Johnson and
Elliott for Rocky Mountain. Interior pass to Reed. Nah, he's going to get the just turn around. A smaller player, I mean, Smoyer just gets a bump, and Reed does. If there's somebody similar size to him, then rips him or anybody, you know, Grove for the Sabercats, that's not a foul at all. But a smaller player, the defect is a little bigger, isn't it?
Yeah, you just can't turn in without really feeling that guy on your back.
Yeah, and that's his 3rd foul.
And it was accentuated.
Just a bit?
Just a bit, but
they are handing out awards this time of year.
Yeah.
Yoakum double teamed.
But hey, if the officials go for it, do it.
Smoyer cross court, McFadden open for the 3. Good. We're talking a 2-point game, Randy, with a minute left in the half. Didn't we say Poudre come in here and battle?
Yeah, no,
they compete.
Well, they have absolutely nothing to lose.
Pfaffinger, though, takes it straight up to the rim. Gets his first 2 of quite a while.
And I think Fort Collins has similar ideas as Poudre girls did. You know, we need to get out here with a win.
Yeah. A little turnover that time on the press. It's kind of an unforced error. And a timeout be taken by Coach Alcaraz and the Lambkins. So 26-22, 37 seconds left in the half. You're watching Streaming Sports.
Wherever it is you want to go, all you need to see is the next 200 feet. That's how life unfolds. A leap of faith. Even if you can't see it, your destination is out there. So just keep going, and you'll get there. 200 feet at a time. The Corolla. Toyota. Let's go places.
Back here, we got the student sections battling back and forth with their chants.
So 35 seconds on the clock. Lambkins with the ball and lead by 4. Man defense for the first time in a while for the Impalas. We'll change that time coming out by Coach Shelley. That'll do something to turn up the defense. Kick back out. Elder not looking at it. 14 to play. Palazzo is going to have to make a move for penetration. Kick back to this corner. Doesn't go. And that'll run it out. So the Impalas hold off the Lambkins. They get a shot off, but not probably the shot they really wanted, Randy. They still lead at half, although by just 4. So 26 to 22 after 2 quarters here. Fort Collins High School, the Lambkins lead. You're watching Streaming Sports.
Wherever it is you want to go, all you need to see is the next 200 feet. That's how life unfolds. A leap of faith. Even if you can't see it, your destination is out there. So just keep going, and you'll get there. 200 feet at a time. The Corolla. Toyota. Let's go places.
Wayne, everyone knows by now that Schrader's Country Stores have the best car washes around. They don't need to see you standing in the car wash explaining the undercarriage wash, the rocker panel spray, the protective finish application, and the jet dryer. No, Wayne, all you have to do is see the beautiful shine on my nice clean car. No muss, no fuss, and I'm certainly not all wet.
You won't get soaked at Schrader Country Store car washes, just shiny clean.
I'm Gina, and I am UC Health. I've had some difficult things to face throughout my career, and part of that was dealing with the cancer journey of both of my parents, and I was diagnosed with cancer myself. There's so much that I can bring to my patients because I do understand, and I think that that helps me to be a better cancer doctor.
Our roots run deep at the University of Colorado Health. Share your roots at imuchealth.org.
I like easy. That's why I got this self-driving car. And why I signed up for the First Bank Anywhere account. It warns me if there's ever and with 24-hour customer support, I can get help right away. Sorry. No lock!
Easy should be easy. New Anywhere account, only at First Bank.
So we're here with Kevin Lytle at halftime and just talking a little bit about the score down south. Boulder and Fossil Ridge playing for the Front Range boys title, and it looks like that title's pretty much been decided unless there's a huge comeback, huh?
Yep, looks like Boulder is going to win that one. Looks like 55-36 Boulder after 3 quarters. So like you say, it's going to take a pretty wild 4th quarter from Fossil Ridge to change that. And, you know, it's in some ways surprising to see it not close, but in some ways not. We've seen that team really up and down, and when they've had some off nights, you know, and just the way they started against Fairview the other night, a better team will run away with it early, and that might be what Boulder's doing tonight.
Well, and even Horizon, who's the bottom, I mean, they didn't beat them convincingly. You know, barely got out of there against Horizon, got beat by Monarch at Monarch. So there's certainly, you know, as we said early in the year, every team's got their deals. We're watching a team right here that's only beating a 2-20 team by 4 points in Fort Collins.
Yeah, I mean, Poudre's really disrupting, irritating Fort Collins. Fort Collins' offense looks pretty disjointed right now.
And you know what? If Yoakum hits like he normally does, Poudre's ahead in this game.
Exactly. I mean, normally you would think that Poudre's hit a bunch of threes to stay in this, but that hasn't been the case. They're getting some stuff at the basket. Like you say, they're kind of missing some threes, but they're right in this. If Yoakum and McFadden can hit some threes, this could be a really, really interesting second half. And, you know, this does matter seeding-wise. Fort Collins wants to win this. It's going to affect where they're placed in the playoffs, so this isn't just a throwaway game.
So you look at some to see, you know, the thing was telling people about Front Range boys is, you know, Greeley West has the most wins. I mean, they've got 18 wins. So they're going to probably get one of the top seeds out of this conference as well.
Yeah, I mean, assuming Fossil Ridge does lose, they could drop as far as 4th tonight.
Yeah, which will still get him a first. Will that get him a first-round bye?
They should get a bye more than likely, but it definitely will hurt their seed and create a little tougher road.
Nobody wants to be in the 4 or 5 game.
Nope.
That's the kiss of death game. That and the 5-12 game. Seems like those are the games that you just. So anyway, what do you know? Really, Fort Collins just needs to take care of business. But I think Poudre's got other ideas tonight. Just in watching them play, they're you know, I think they're happy to have Raffaele back. You know, he got aggressive there, hit a couple of buckets, and they've got enough talent to win some games. It's amazing to me they've only won 2 this year, because when I look at them, you know, they can play.
They've got a little more than that,
they've got more talent than a 2-win team, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think they're playing pretty loose and free tonight. You know, it doesn't really matter for them. This is let's go ruin someone else's season type of night, and those can be dangerous. And
the other thing that's overlooked by Collins, they're a young team, so they don't have that senior leader out there to say, hey guys, this is a big game. We can't blow this game even though we're, you know, favored.
Yeah, it's kind of a whole squad of juniors. You know, it's that unit that kind of took over from, like you mentioned, all the seniors last year, and you know, that's what Fort Collins will be next year, just a bunch of seniors. But there's a growing process that goes with becoming the guys as opposed to role players.
Well, and sometimes you got to have your heart broken before you.
Yeah, it's never easy. It's pretty hard to smoothly make that transition always.
Yes, it is. So anyway, we'll see what happens. It's been a pleasure this year. We'll probably do a playoff game, but this is our last regular season broadcast. I want to thank you so much for your support, Kevin, and here at the halftime of these games, and we'll see how the playoffs go. We do have one more unified game too, so I'm sure you'll be at Collins and Fossil on March 2nd. But anyway, that's it at halftime. We'll be back after these messages for the second half. You're watching Streaming Sports.
Who wants more peas?
Go away.
Oh, Daddy hates pop-up ads.
Go away.
Hashtag dinner time.
Scroll forward.
Choose selfie. No. Selfie.
Go forward.
Delete selfie.
Go away.
Send picture.
Bookmark. Go away.
No, post photo.
Scroll up. Scroll forward.
Hashtag gravy.
The First Bank mobile app. Technology has never been so easy.
Wherever it is you want to go, all you need to see is the next 200 feet. That's how life unfolds. A leap of faith. Even if you can't see it, your destination is out there. So just keep going, and you'll get there. 200 feet at a time. The Corolla. Toyota. Let's go places.
So there you see our score, 26-22. Fort Collins ahead. The Poudre at half. Got a score, 5:23 left in the game. Boulder ahead, 60-46. So Fossil Ridge has made a little bit of a comeback, you know, cut it down to 14, but it's been pretty much a 14-point game.
Pretty much played it even.
The majority.
Digging a hole there with Boulder starting off so hot for 3 points, and sometimes you can't give a horse too much of a lead. You waste all your energy trying to close it, don't you?
Yeah, so anyway, there you have that. So we're at the beginning of the second half here.
Lambkins will start. Palacio, Reed, Marito, Orozco, and Pfaffinger. Raffaele, Yoakum, Conde, Smoyer, and McFadden out for the Impalas. Pfaffinger, one of those little overpassing. He did. Palacio coming from the backside. He knew he was there, but he was still wide open for the 8-footer.
I was going to say, he's 4 foot from the bucket. Your leading scorer, I think you want him to shoot that.
Well, next said you had, Palacio on the backside for the rebound there too. It was just a great time to take a shot. Still trapping on that half-court press of the Lambkins.
Say they missed McFadden there earlier.
Penetration kick back out. McFadden from the corner. Halfway down, comes back out. Going to foul on the rebound.
And
Faffinger, just his first. The only Lambkin starter that went through the first half without one, if not two fouls. McFadden on the curl, Yoakum, excuse me, on the curl. Finally gets one to fall. Had to work for that one too, didn't he?
He did, but he made it work.
See one go in. Every scorer sees that one go in. All of a sudden, you forget about all those prior misses, don't you?
Yeah, well, you hope. That's the difference between those that succeed and those that don't.
Faffinger with the three. That
That's
one was
not a good
halfway
sign
down.
for Fort Collins, is it?
No, that one was well down and then came back out.
Sometimes you can tell what the basketball gods are cooking up, can't you?
2-point lead right now for the Lambkins. Poudre with the ball, a chance to tie it. They haven't been tied for quite a while in this game.
I like Poudre's confidence right now. They're playing.
Like I said, they did all that in the first half, stayed so close without Yoakum really having but maybe a bucket. Turnover though, back down court. Play also cross court has two players. It's kind of a choice back there in the corner. Rado doesn't get to fall. McFadden with the rebound, but Randy, they're getting looks.
What do you say? You live by the three and you die by the three.
You're exactly right.
Raffelli with a nice move.
McFadden three-pointer doesn't fall that time.
You know what I love about McFadden is he doesn't hesitate when he's going up. He goes up and
Lambkins just have not had much success, in any real one part of the game as you expect to see them. But if you don't shoot well from the outside, that makes that inside play easier to defend. Reed, nice job by Conde, just staying the body on him. Reed can't get too aggressive into there, can he? He's got the two fouls.
Got three fouls. And
Raffelli or Smoyer. Smoyer's going to get called for a blocking foul, and he had all of Faffinger on top of him as he went down. That's a pretty good collision to the ground.
I think he might have hit an elbow or
at least.
He's not well.
No, that was a pretty good pop. Nice job of the trainer coming out there right away, though. We talk about it, but it is an important deal. We have great trainers and medical facility backup here at all our athletic contests for Poudre School District. Credit to those who do the volunteering and the work in those areas. Lambkins inbound now. Lorosco on the outside. Back it all the way back out. Man defense back for the Impalas. Ball tipped away.
Yeah, it wasn't open,
way.
That he rolled, but McFadden did a good job of kind of juking the guy who had the ball, and then getting in the passing lane.
Laid off of it.
And laid off of him and just kind of played him.
Kind of looked like a defensive back, didn't
Yep. Kind of dare you to throw it, and then.
He's a pretty good defensive back, so that's an easy translation athletically. Good ball movement. Raffelli goes to the baseline, has to kick it back out.
I think I'd rather say Raffelli go ahead and take that shot.
Yeah.
It's an open look.
4:46 left here. Third quarter. Conde goes up, going to get grabbed by the wrist.
Well, no, that's not Conde. That's
Diaz. Yep. Saw the three, didn't see the zero. He'll go to the line, though. Chance to tie the game.
And Poudre's done exactly what they want to do. They've just slowed this game down to just a crawl. And Fort Collins is not a dominant enough team to be able to, we've seen some teams in this town in the past that could run you out of that.
Yeah.
But that's not the Collins team this year.
Well, like I say, it's a new group finishing out the year, and not a deep rotation. 5-6 is about what Coach Alcaraz is. Not too many extra that. As Diaz goes up and a nice 2 for 2, gets his first couple buckets or points of the night, and he ties it up. We're tied at 26 here. And who told the Impalas that this game was over?
Yeah. Well,
Elder skipped past to Palacio. That ball is short. That just legs there. You can tell Palacio's legs. I mean, it is the end of the season.
Well, nobody looks comfortable when they're shooting for Fort Collins. I will say that.
That's a good point. Well, and you find out this is the first year you've been the guy. You've played almost most of the minutes at your position the whole year long, and that's different, and that takes a toll on you.
Again, if Yoakum got hot here, this thing could be very interesting in the fourth quarter.
Ball fake, Yoakum goes in, splits the defenders, just works his way into a foul call. Really never in control, but just showing his quickness and his ability to adapt in the air and draws the foul. Scorers just got to get to the line, don't they?
They do, and I think the thing that Coach Alcaraz sees, there's no energy on his Lambkins right now. And looky here.
We got a 1-point lead for the Impalas and a timeout taken. You're watching Stream It Sports.
I am UC Health.
I am UC Health.
I'm Jill, and I am UC Health. Laughter clubs bring people together in ways that are unmatched. It helps you decrease stress. It helps you relax more. So at UC Health, they allow us to embrace the community, embrace our members, and do some really wonderful things.
Our roots run deep at the University of Colorado Health. Share your roots at imuchealth.org.
We're back here. Mitchell Yoakum at the line with his second free throw. And that's good. 2-point lead now for the Impalas, 28-26. 4:03 left here in the third quarter. Team with 14 wins with a team with just 2 wins, but right now they're played to a standstill, haven't they?
Yeah, and this is the epitome of records don't matter.
Oh, good entry pass from Palacio that time.
And I think that's a good foul, actually.
Oh, yeah, don't give him the bunny. Don't give him the chance to just a little succession there. But, boy, Palacio just knew where his man was going to be and threaded the pass. First is up and good by Reed. Reed's 2 for 2, ties it at 28.
It's his first 2 points of the game.
Yeah.
I like that going to the half-court trap to try to get some energy. Sometimes you call a defense that requires a lot of energy, that it will get your offensive energy going.
Oh, yeah, it is. It's a lot about movement and just going. Travel call down the corner.
Was that travel? I didn't see it down there.
A little too quick to start. You know, a lot of athletes will do that. You see something in your mind developing and you will do a 2-foot shuffle. But you have to have that ball out of your hand towards the floor before you do it. Elder, Palacio, Pfaffinger, Reed, and Marito. Elder deep in the corner. That one rolls out. Diaz fighting Reed for the rebound, but nice job in the backside. Poudre didn't help down. So an easy pass and a putback. Just a nice alert pass by Reed, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was not a lot you can do about that.
Yeah. Pfaffinger with the short one to finish that.
Points of opportunity.
Yes. Under 3 to play here in the third. 30-28 Lambkins.
Yeah,
Yoakum left alone.
I was going to say, you got to take that.
Got knocked to the ground. Ball was short. Oh, good pass. Palacio finishes it. That's just the definition of how you run a fast break. You feed the lanes, and if somebody doesn't take you, you give it up. If they take you, don't take you, just finish yourself, right?
That's it. And Pfaffinger with his second foul. We see more fouls tonight out around half court on both the boys and girls games.
Yeah. And I think, like I said, it's the end of the year. There's some tired athletes out there. It's been a grueling couple of months here since Christmas. Not many breaks. You're playing 2 and sometimes 3 times a week or in over 8 days. Ball goes to the floor. And a basketball game going, and a scrum just broke out there in mid-court. There's
scrum. We had a scrum going, and a basketball game broke out.
There was no place for the hesitant out there. 4-point lead now for the Lambkins. Poudre, though, with the ball. Man defense by the Lambkins. Conde down outside. Diaz back over to Yoakum. You almost got to look to see when you can start Yoakum getting running through some picks and going through, making some movement like that. Conde just goes in, catches the entry pass right away, puts it up and gets it.
Nice pass again by McFadden. Real playmaker.
Yep.
It's close to a travel over there. Kind of did a
little skip.
Well, we've seen it called plenty of times this year.
Yeah. Fafner, nice offensive rebound. Baby hook doesn't go. Still rebounded out by the Lambkins. Palacio creates on the penetration, kicks it out to Elder. He drills the first three-pointer in a while for the Lambkins, gives them a 5-point lead. That's just your point guard knowing what they can do and where your teammates are, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the definition of a point guard. You got to run the offense, quarterback. You got to know where people are. You got to know what their strengths are. Get people in, get people in places where they can be successful. Nice move by McFadden. Wow.
Finish.
A spin move, strong move. Somebody we have not seen tonight is freshman Fisher. It's going to be a big part of this program.
Yeah, fairly short bench for Coach Shelley, that's for sure. Palacio running the lane, doesn't go, just rolls off the front barely. Rebound knocked out, picked up by Fadden.
Fisher's played, I'm sure, a lot of minutes this year, so yeah, even with that, I can remember when Cody, our broadcast partner here,
yep,
was a freshman. About the last 4 or 5 games, he just said, "You're done," and because it was just so hard on a freshman body to play
well, it's just different.
Varsity.
You're playing with 2- and 3-year-older kids, and that happens in every sport. All of a sudden you find out you can compete at your level, your age level, but then all of a sudden you give a...
Fortunate he didn't get a foul there. Whoa! Troy McFadden.
Deep three-pointer by McFadden there, ties it up at 35, 120 to play here in the third.
Got to have about 15 points, doesn't he?
The Impalas will not go away.
14 to be exact.
Fafner begging for it in the middle. Nobody had him. Easy layup. 5 to play here in the quarter, and Fafner knew he was uncovered. Yoakum goes to the floor. Shot going to count if he goes. Yoakum wanted the foul. He got pretty well tripped up, and there's no call. So after 3 quarters of play here at Fort Collins High School, the Lambkins with a 2-point lead, 37-35.
Wayne, everyone knows by now that Schrader's Country Stores have the best car washes around. They don't need to see you standing in the car wash explaining the undercarriage wash, the rocker panel spray, the protective finish application, and the jet dryer. No, Wayne, all you have to do is see the beautiful shine on my nice clean car. No muss, no fuss, and I'm certainly not all wet.
You won't get soaked at Schrader Country Store car washes, just shiny clean.
So you see the students having a little bit of fun here. Cheerleaders, and last home game. Might be one more for Fort Collins boys, not sure.
Well, it's the last city game of the year.
Yeah, it is, and our last regular season broadcast, so make sure you follow us on Twitter, McCoy Haase Talks. That's Stream It Sports NoCo. And we'll tell you when our games will be. If we do some playoff games, I'm assuming we'll do 1 or 2. So make sure you follow us on Twitter, and we'll get that information to you.
Speaking of Streaming Sports, I like that play that Collins runs there. Basically, it's an inside-out pick, allowing Palacio to go right down the middle of the lane, and then everybody kind of sees him there, and then Fafner runs the baseline underneath, and Palacio just threads it, an easy reverse layup.
Another place to find our upcoming games would be streamitsports.com. Just go under the basketball tab and we'll have those games listed.
Thanks to Phil Mildred and his company Streaming Sports. What a year we've had.
Yeah, our first year with Phil, and it's been just a pleasure working with him. Hard-working guy, and
well, and it's really
great product.
Brought everything's up.
We hope you've enjoyed our HD quality sound and video on the computer. It doesn't go this smooth everywhere, folks, so what you're getting here is a really, really high-level high school broadcast.
After a baseline doesn't go, Reed almost tips it out. Fadden ends up with it.
I want to thank our sponsors, too, as we continue to appreciate their partnership. We'll talk about them here as we...
McFadden there, kind of a little bit of a push off on Palacio. Palacio quick enough at his feet also to jump back and gave a little bit of assist there to the official on the call. That's just smart defensive play. So 6:33 left here in the game. 39-35 Lambkins lead. Backdoor pass. This is a little back pick. That's 2 design plays in a row. How do you get your offense going? Go to something that everybody knows exactly what they have to do. Palacio feeds a perfect lob pass in for Reed.
And this is where Poudre
just hasn't, his shot's not falling tonight at all. Lambkins down the run. Murillo passes up, put in the corner to Elder. Elder good. So 44-35, 9-point lead. I think about the biggest of the game, and that's going to cause Coach Shelley to take a timeout. The Impalas go to the bench there and
talk about, just reflect a little bit on the season. We've had, again, over 65 broadcasts this year. First year with Streaming Sports, just impeccable quality of our picture that we've been able to give. Our sound, HD quality, and we did 20 football games. We've done about 30 basketball games, did about 16 volleyball games. Got a great crew with Sean Corbett and Chris Colton, Cody McCoy, Marty Cesario, Eric Freehoff,
Samantha Peters
on our volleyball.
And Marty Cesario pitching in too.
Ethan Dayton we used on camera in the football, so we want to thank our crew that's been doing such a great job this year, and our sponsors. We'll talk a little bit more about them. This won't be the last time out of the game, I'm sure.
5:46 left, 9-point lead now for the Lambkins. Couple of big plays in a row. You know, 1 3-pointer and a couple design plays resulting in easy baskets. Time for Poudre to see if they can answer Randy with a couple baskets. If not, then it could slip away pretty good.
Yeah, if they're going to stay in the game, they've got to do that, and that's what they needed.
Kyle West right there, the over-under move and finishes. What a great effort. Still the zone defense. I'm almost surprised that Collins just decided to back it up and say, okay, you got to come get us. Foul, I think, is going to be on Kyle West. It is, and he just kind of collided with Reed. But nice thing about that, though, they both turn around and kind of just give yourself a little fist bump and said, you know, good play. So it's 5 team fouls on Lambkins, the 4th one on the Impalas. Neither team in the single bonus yet.
Well, the thing you don't know in a town as small as Fort Collins is, you know, that you could be playing against your best friend down there.
Yeah.
We know that's happened in the past. It's a good look. Reed not able to hang on.
Yeah, kind of hit him a little too low. He's only trying to take his hands up in the air. So turnover. The 7-point lead now. Lambkins are back on defense, but no reason to count the Impalas out the way they've played tonight. Pass a little tough to the outside. Yoakum had to track it down.
Well, he was getting ready. He was setting up to shoot,
yes,
too. If that ball would have been where it needed to be, he would have had a good open shot.
Diaz about to get a 5 count, gets rid of it. Raffelli from the outside.
Ooh, close.
Very close, doesn't go. Palacio bringing it down court. Lambkins just going to back it out, get themselves set every time now. Very much what you expect from this program. They do less things to beat themselves than probably any of the other teams we see on a regular basis. We're going to be ready to make our play every time. That time foul called.
So funny, the young man in the corner just did a jump stop there, which we saw called traveling several times a couple of games ago, and the exact same thing. So much of officiating is interpretation of what you think a certain thing is.
4:09 left in the fourth. Trip there by Fafner. 46-37, back to 9 points. McFadden baseline has to kick it back out. Nice job, Palacio and Reed on the pinch, and pass is deflected. Turnover. Reed coming in. Layup. Gets hit on the arm. Doesn't go. So Reed go to the line for 2. That's 16 fouls now. His next one on the Impalas will put the Lambkins, in the single bonus.
I think Coach Alcaraz would be happy to see Reed kind of coming alive a little bit here in this second half offensively. He's struggled the last couple of games.
Yep.
Or the last couple of games we've seen.
Second one's good. 11-point lead now.
Reed has 6 points.
6 points. That's just tough when you start your game out, pick up a couple fouls, you kind of just go sit. Kind of takes the mental and physical momentum away. Smoyer has to get rid of it out to Raffelli. I'll tell you, the second half, though, Pfaffinger has been guarding Yoakum, and there's the wingspan and his quickness. It's just tough for Yoakum to get shots off.
Yeah.
McFadden shots blocked by Palacio. The three-pointer, he's just a little slow to get it off. Palacio tries to change the hands over there, just kind of lost the momentum in the air. Lambkins back on defense. McFadden for 3. Rebound, Diaz. And that kind of sums up the night so far for Mitch Yoakum.
And that was an offense. Oh, wow. I thought McFadden got there.
Yeah. Official called it right away. So an and one possibility now for Palacio.
It's a good hustle by the young man, and
well, he ran baseline to baseline, trying to make up for the the defense. They're trying to get themselves make some plays.
That's impressive right there, wasn't it? He missed the shot, and he's down there trying to get the charge. But that's Troy McFadden.
Shot by Palacio, good at the line. So 3-point play, 51-37 now. 14-point lead with under 3 to play. Poudre's going to have to start scoring, obviously, but can't run 20, 30 seconds off while they're trying to do so. Smoyer goes in, is going to get to the line, gets tripped. I could call it on the floor, so that will use up the last foul of the game before the single bonus starts.
We got a final here from Boulder. Boulder beats Fossil Ridge 70-54. Everhart with 19. Bertolette with 5. 0 field goals. 5 free throws.
Wow.
Didn't see that coming.
Yoakum grabbed by Palacio as he cut through the defense. He'll go to the line now.
We've talked about that a lot all year. Is once you show yourself to be a scorer, something like that, teams start keying on you, and it's tough.
Mitchell Yoakum just has had an uncharacteristically cold night from the line, from the field, everywhere.
It was a 2-shot foul, I believe.
Well, it should have been 1-1.
Oh, was it? It wasn't on the shot.
Yeah, and Sari Palacio just took the ball. He wants to take off and dribble. we're stalling for time, trying to let the officials tell us what happened down there, because if Sari Palacio wanted to take off with the ball because the shot was missed.
I'm not sure why Poudre would get the ball.
Yeah, and Coach Alcaraz agrees with you, I think. Because there's no reason for them to get the ball. I think everybody took a momentary brain vacation.
So talk a little bit about our sponsors here. We keep.
Well, and you look at the timeout. We don't know who called by, but the officials are going to talk it over.
Well, I think they made Monty take one if he was going to argue.
Yeah. Either way, though, thanks again to our sponsors this year, allowing us to bring well over 20,000 views in football and basketball, volleyball. UC Health back for their second year as our primary sponsor. Schrader Oil back again, along with First Bank. Thank them both for being in the second year in a row. And then our new sponsor this year, Pedersen Toyota, and our banner sponsor, Rocky Mountain Fever. So we've really want to thank all those allowing us to bring to you all the fans and families of Poudre School District Athletics, all these contests.
And if you're interested in becoming a sponsor or looking at our sponsorship packages, just tweet us at McCoy Haase Talks. Just send an instant private message to Randy or David.
And we'll find you.
We'll find you, believe me. Been very, very impressed with the community, the support of these broadcasts, and it's growing. And again, with Streaming Sports, with free and easy access, no paywalls. You don't have to create an account. You just go right to it.
Wherever you may be.
And everything's repeated on Channel 10 several times, several hundred hours of
Matt Gold and his staff down there. So Palacio just steps back out there, tells the Impalas they have got to come out and play defense. They're not going to let them sit in the zone. 2:06 to play with a 14-point lead. And maybe after the game we'll get explained what happened there, because there were 3 officials and 10 players, and I think only one player, Sari Palacio, kind of had an idea that that ball should have been live. Either way, a timeout was taken. And then after the timeout, there was a foul called.
Troy McFadden just took the ball away, but he must have got some arm in the process.
And Coach Shelley's just, the officials right now are having a little bit of difficulty.
Because the Collins player I wouldn't say he was asleep, but he wasn't expecting McFadden to come up and still be aggressive, and I thought he took it fairly cleanly.
A lot of the emotion has gone out of the game with a 14-point lead. With a minute 51, that does happen, obviously, but we got one official at the scorer's table. We got one official trying to explain something to Coach Alcaraz, and the other official waiting for everybody to come play basketball. And so are we.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks again to tuning in to Streaming Sports this year. Thanks to Phil Mildren and his company bringing you these athletes from Poudre School District. All these boys and girls have put in so much time. Thanks again to these pep bands that have kept us entertained. We enjoy the efforts they put out.
All the dancers and the prancers and the
cheerleaders,
cheerleaders,
and then we
singers, people who sung the national anthem. We've had several great.
And the cherry on top of the Unified Games. We got one more to do.
We do. So, again, McCoy Haase Talks. Just follow us on Twitter, and you'll find out everything you need to know. If you do want to become a sponsor or support us, partner with us, let us know, and we can send you a sponsorship package and explain that to you as we go into next year good and strong. With PSD, we didn't tell people we did sign a 3-year contract with them at the beginning last year.
Thanks to the efforts on behalf of Poudre School District by Ron Alexander.
And we've got some potential surprises for next year of maybe adding a school or two. So
it's a growing part of high school sports. The lowest cost way to bring that was a travel call, but way to bring athletics you wherever you may be with the online capabilities. And then one of the rare things a lot of people don't realize outside of this district is that Channel 10 is a special institution in school athletics up and down the Front Range, isn't it?
Yes, it is, and it gives people an opportunity. I want to thank the Ridge TV team for helping us out with the coaches shows. We did that for the first time this year. Did some coaches shows as Murillo.
Easy little one back there. Nice job. Everybody, the Impalas are trying to overplay and make a play or two. Under minute 20, Yoakum's spin move goes in. And basically, of course, it doesn't fall. Young man's played his heart out, but he just can't get the bucket to fall tonight. Now the Lambkins are trying to overshare.
Yeah. So football will start up at 1st of September next year, and we will do a preseason coaches show for the football coaches, so be looking out for that. Now that we kind of plowed that ground this year with doing that.
Yep. Murillo with the steal. Easy layup at the other end. Both Pfaffinger and Palacio, good games tonight. Murillo goes to 10 points to that. Palacio with 14. Pfaffinger with 12. Lambkins content just to kind of pull it out. Cross-court pass to Elder. Under 40 to play and an 18-point lead. And an easy backdoor play that time by Murillo. Under 30 to play. And offensive foul going the other way.
Yeah, I got a lot of respect for Yoakum. He's a senior, has kept us cool, has been on a team that's only won 2 games, is by far, and you know, we talked to Coach Shelley about those seniors.
Yeah, and they're going out right now, all getting hugs from the staff. Nice hand from those parents up there, and classy moment too for the Collins fans, giving those kids the same applause, and some of the starters for the Lambkins coming out, Asiri Palacio in particular.
It's a big deal because again, most, 9 out of 10 players down there are not going to play another game after, another school game
after this year.
Yeah, if seniors.
So just seconds to play here in the game. The final's going to end up 57-37. Nice win for the Lambkins at the end, but not before that Poudre had given them a game and actually had the lead in the second half with several plays in a row. A little bit of a spark in the game put down by the Lambkins. Pull away for a final game here at home. We'll see where they come out next week with the seeding, Randy, but a good effort to finish.
Yeah, it was, and we would expect Fossil Ridge to have a home game, boys. Poudre girls certainly will have a home game, possibly Fort Collins. So we will let you know again. Follow us at McCoy Haase Talks. It's McCoy Haasetalks. Easy for me to spell. So anyway, it's been a pleasure doing this, and we will have 1 or 2 more games. We'll also have our unified games. So for Randy McCoy, Sean Corbett's David Haase, our final score 57-37. We will see you next time.
Poudre School District High School Basketball, live on Stream It Sports and PSD Channel 10, has brought to you by Schrader Oil, your local fuel company. By University of Colorado Health, we improve lives from healthcare to health. By Pedersen Toyota, everything cars made easy. And by First Bank. Visit any of our convenient locations in northern Colorado.